What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up, everybody? I ain't forgetting nobody. Shout out to everybody that's here. We're gonna talk about some things today. Let me set these titles up. I don't know why I keep doing this, but hey. I gotta change these titles. Good God. Let me see what's going on Facebook. For some reason, I'm streaming on Facebook. I'm not going on Facebook. So what we gonna do? That's why. No problem. That's why. Well, Facebook will miss this one. Oh, boy. What up, everybody? Let's go. Time for us to get in action. Let's do what we do. Let's go.
Yo, I swear I've been through it all, and I pray that I never fall. God protect me as I swing my dragon chain on my dogs with me, just to set the record straight. Oh man, not afraid. No, I'm not afraid of anything, and I swear that I'm gonna be young forever. Pump your fist, pump the disc. I'ma never miss with a track in the back. Pump that stuff right here. On the wall, I'ma place my name and my dog and the dude that saves you in my head. Every ghetto, every hood, time to make it understood. Now sing. No, 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 no. I'm not afraid of anything, and I swear that I'm gonna be. I'ma never miss. Think I say it again. No, no, no. I'm not afraid of anything, and I swear that I'm gonna be forever. And I don't understand what happened with my mates, and I fought for my time, and now that they're gone, I feel so all alone. But I'm gonna be What? Say you love it. What you gonna do now? I hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Tell you that I will never disrespect you. Maybe not tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spend you. That ass, girl, gotta make it last now. Spread our soul, and I'ma beat it up. Hate on me, but no. Trying to say stop when the beat say go. There you go again, that voice is low. Oh, watch you make your girlfriend. Oh, come on, oh, come on, oh, come on. I think you've been waiting patiently, wondering when and where I be. The cousin rockets in the industry, making this so that she can't sleep. I'm not afraid. You have to roll. You have to roll with me. No, 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 no. Those who love me, I'm afraid of anything, and I swear that I'm gonna be.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on here? What's going on? Oh yeah, I got 61 in the chat. I got 2 haters. All my haters. I thank y'all, man. Y'all making me feel greater. But for the people that want to hate, here you go. Yeah, they just jumped off the bridge. You know, that's all they do is hate. But I know y'all looking at the cool background I got going on, a little cryptid joint. Oh yeah, real cryptid. So we're gonna talk about some things. I don't know if y'all been watching what's going on, but I'm gonna be giving y'all current events. I'm getting over it, feeling better. So I'm here. I'm gonna be giving y'all current events as well as things that's going on, as well as things going on in the goddamn YouTube streets. Y'all don't understand. These YouTube streets have been on fire. And I ain't even talking about over here in the Rkelly sector, because that was crazy over here. You know, I stay away from crazy stuff. But I'm gonna start off with the Toxique Diamond Nosey Heaux drama. Now, Toxique Diamond and Nosey Heaux been going back and forth. I don't know what's been going on, but I know I do know Tox is my sis. I don't know Nosey Heaux. And the thing is, I'm not getting into nobody else's beef, but I gotta call a spade a spade. I seen some things that go against the principles. Now I don't know how it go along and all that, but all this doxing stuff, I mean, to the point where people are doxing and putting addresses and phone numbers and social security number. That's some serious shit. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Stuff like that, things like that, it can cause ramifications. But Nosey Heaux said that she gonna have Toxique Diamond mama on that. I said, ooh. And then so you know I had to call Tox. Y'all know I had to call her. I said, Tox, your mama starting a YouTube channel and she's supposed to be going on Nosey Heaux? I said, well, goddamn. Man, Tox's exact words were, she can try it if she wants. I'll be going to New York. And it'll be a face-to-face conversation. When a woman talk like that, I'm like, ugh. Also, I'm here to clear up some facts about something. It was said that Toxique Diamond lost her child to Department of Children's Services. That's not true. Not true. She went to court. Her baby daddy came to Vegas, took Toxique down to court because Toxique didn't go by the court order or fulfill the court order of the baby daddy getting a child, of the baby daddy getting a child for the summer while she was here in Atlanta, living in Atlanta. So that's what happened. And evidently Tox lost in court. So I think he get custody for like a year and then they alternate like that. I believe they alternate years like that. He'll get it for the whole year and then Tox will just get it for the school year and then he get it back for the summer. But that's how it works out. Let me see what else. Other than that, that's like beyond crazy. But what I'm gonna do, I want to interview both of them ladies. So I'm gonna reach out to Nosey Heaux and see if I can get an interview with her. And I'm gonna call my sis. I'm gonna see if I can get an interview with her. I just want to know, why are they going at each other like this? What is the problem? What is the problem? Where did it start from? And what I'm understanding, that Nosey Heaux used to be a mod for Tox, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but here we go with this. If that's the case, now y'all see why I say what I say about people modding for me. If you're going to mod for me, you can't mod nowhere else. I'm going to push you to start a channel if that's what you want to do, because I want to push everybody to start their channel. But if you start your channel and you want to start your channel, it's never good to go at where you started at, because the person that started you there will never tell you everything. And it's a reason why they there. I do respect Nosey Heaux numbers. She got some numbers, so I respect her. Whatever she's doing is working. I was listening to her. She said 100 subs a day. That's work. But then I look at Tox. Tox got like 100. She gets like 100 subs a day. So I'm like, shit. DanaJay doing something wrong, because I barely get 30 subs a day. I get 25, but I barely get 30 subs. So now I'm gonna push myself to get 100 subs a day. That's what I want to do. I want to get 100 subs a day. I think that'll be hot. I think that'll be hot. But shout out Dream Team. Shout out people in the bushes that's just watching. Shout out to the folks that's here. Shout out to the people who don't like me. Shit, you don't like me? Okay, that's fine. Oh, I got 2 more people that jumped on board. I mean, hey, look. 5. But check it, I'm back. It ain't shit you can do about it. I'm back. The content king is back. So now I got that Tox Nosey Heaux situation out. I hope them ladies can come to a medium and just leave each other alone and just let both of them do what they do. Let them mind their own business and do what they do. That's all I say. So, I'm just saying, that Toxic Diamond Nosey Heaux situation is just crazy. Lord, is crazy. Man, folks had to move out their house, both houses. It done got to the point where they went to Madea for counseling. They said, peace be still. And Madea told them to go get some still. So peace gonna be still. Shit. All right, that's enough of that. The Jessica Reed, Charlemagne the God situation. Charlemagne, if it can't get no worse than you, brother, it just got worse. Because now your family is speaking out. I told y'all, I rocks with Jessica Reed and her family. I've been talking to her mom, and I've been trying to do some stuff where I can work out some things, and they got a campaign going on. It's crazy. But let me ask y'all this question. If your family got into any of your affairs, where would y'all want them to say something nice about you? That's what I want to know. Would you want them to say something nice about you? Georgia girl said, glad you're feeling better, Dana. A few days off of YouTube helps. Yeah, it do. But I actually wasn't off YouTube. I was off, but I wasn't off. I was monitoring everything that was going on. I seen every live. And the ones I couldn't be in, when it was live, I went back and replayed it. So I seen every live. I heard everything that happened. It's fine. I understand. When you come for the king, you better not miss. And there's a lot of people missing because the king ain't even there. So I'm just saying. The stuff that's playing in the background, y'all see that's a clip of Doomsday. And that's what it's feeling like on YouTube. Doomsday. Y'all gonna start seeing a lot of channels wither away soon. Only thing I ask, don't mention me. I don't want to be in none of that shit. Don't mention me. I'm okay with people not knowing my side of the story. I'm fine with it. Because it will all be revealed very soon. Just give it some time. And that just give it some time, I'm going to bury that from over here because that's the Boski's catchphrase. Only thing I'm going to say is this. The clock is winding down. Y'all about to see some very strange things happening. Starting today. Starting tonight. You're going to see some very, very, very strange things happen. And I told everybody, I hold everybody's secrets. Just keep me out of it. Some mods that was over here, you ain't gonna see them no more. It's okay. Got nothing but love for them. I wish them well. Some of them moved on. I wish them well. I don't got no hate in my blood. I don't do that. You know what I mean? Nah, man, I got grandpa season, but I got grandpa seasoning over here, bro. I don't do that mama season. I got grandpa season. Kwame got mama's cooking. I got grandpa's season. So, with that being said, Charlemagne the God, bro, it just got worse for you. Not only is, hold on, I gotta get his joint. Not only is Kwame Brown on your tail, but now you got Jessica Reed, you got Mama Reed, you got Brother Reed, you got the uncles, and you got DanaJay on your ass. So, what I'm gonna do? Go ahead. Hold on. Let's see. I don't know what's going on. Hold up. I got it. I'm gonna do it that way. I'm gonna do it that way. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Let's stop playing. Let's do it this way. All right, let's do it this way. Eee. All right. So you pay attention. What's going on? Because I'm going to go all the way through it. Okay. Here we go. Andre Ferguson with Roy Boy Palmer. Check this out. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get real bad. Real bad. Let me do this real quick. I want y'all to see this. It's gonna get bad. Real bad. It says, "Good morning, world. I just want y'all to know that I read the book Black Privilege. At first, I was like, hell yeah, bruh doing big things, talking about Charlemagne. After reading that biographical fiction novel, I'm like, my bruh full of shit. Uh-oh. The book has some truths, but the rest are all lies. This nigga done went Hollywood, shaking my head. Talking about Charlemagne. I get it, right? Black privilege. Must be a movie script. My character is Anthony, the mad drunk who gets into fights when he drinks. That's a lie. I'm a happy drunk who likes to dance when I drink. Laugh out loud. He said in school, he only told on random folk who were trying to be down and act hard. That was a lie. He was broke and wanted to go to Myrtle Beach, so he told the principal that our neighbor Terrence James had a gun in his car and he got expelled. Oh no. Oh no. Woo, he was broke and wanted to go to Myrtle Beach, so he told the principal that our neighbor Terrence James had a gun in his car and he got expelled. June the 8th, 2001. Oh man, I'm going to leave that one alone. Bill Cosby type of shit. He said he took his wife to Myrtle Beach. What he didn't say was that as soon as he got home, he showed me and Jarrell, God bless the dead, the naked pics that he took of her on the balcony. A Lord Kim fantasy of his. Laugh out loud. I could go on for days, but I'm a chill for now because we close kin. My great uncle, Bubba Lee Bryant's grandson. He only wishes he was a true McKelvey. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I'm live. Please stop texting me, whoever you are. Okay. Oh no. So in this situation, okay, I got it. So in this situation, I appreciate you. Thank you. In this situation, you got McKelvey's speaking out against him now. So this brother, not only his career is ending, but his life. So I'm gonna read it again. Good morning, world. I just want y'all to know that I read the book Black Privilege. At first, I was like, hell yeah, bruh doing big things. After reading that biographical fictional novel, I'm like, my bruh full of shit. The book has some truths, but the rest are all lies. This nigga done went Hollywood, shaking my head. I get it. Black privilege must be a movie script. My character is Anthony. So this must be his real brother. The mad drunk who gets into fights when he drinks. That's a lie. I'm a happy drunk who likes to dance. When I drink, laugh out loud. He said in school, he only told on random folk who were trying to be down and act hard. That was a lie. He was broke and wanted to go to Myrtle Beach. So he told the principal that our neighbor Terrence James had a gun in his car and he got expelled. June the 8th, 2001. Oh man, I'm going to leave that alone. Bill Cosby type ish. That date, when he said he's going to leave it alone, Bill Cosby type of ish, that's when he drugged Jessica Reed. So when he drugged Jessica Reed, then had his friends rape her, and then drugged Jessica Reed's friend, as y'all heard. See his brother say, I'm gonna leave that alone. Bill Cosby type of ish. He said he took his wife to Myrtle Beach. What he didn't say was that as soon as he got home, he showed me and Jarrell, God bless the dead, the naked pics that he took of her on the balcony. A Lord Kim fantasy of his. Laugh out loud. I could go on for days, but I'm gonna chill for now because we close kin. My great Uncle Bubba Lee Bryant's grandson. And he only wishes he was a true McKelvey. I'm gonna say, Charlemagne, man, if I was you, I'd pack up and go. Because right now, you ain't in favor of nothing. And nobody. So I'm leaving there. When I get some more stuff, I bring it to y'all. Shout out to Mama Reed. I'm leaving there. Now I'm going to the world where most of y'all know me from. Let's talk about Kales, baby. All right. So evidently, there's been some sugar honey iced tea going on over on Twitter with the one and only Steve Greenberg. He put some things out and he must have rubbed the wrong person the wrong way. Because one of my Twitter friends, Joe A. Broski, said Steve, ineffective assistant Greenberg, has acted against his client's interests before. Look at this letter from Drew Peterson complaining about Greenberg sent right after his conviction. Greenberg will try to get revenge against Rkelly for firing him. Now, I know y'all can't see that, but at the bottom it says, also look at page 3 of the below pleading file by the DuPage County, Illinois State's Attorney in the Bryant Dugan serial child murder case. Greenberg representing Dugan. Hold on. Which shows that Greenberg is only concerned about getting his face on TV. Pages 4, 5, and 6 are following tweets. So, with that being said, I'm gonna pull it up. Bang. Pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. Y'all know I got it. If nobody else got it, y'all know Dana got it. Fuck with me, you know I got it. Yeah. Where's the other one at? Where'd that one go? Oh, here you go. There we go. Fuck with me, you know I got it. Yeah. Bring it over some more. Bring it over some more. Give me some more. Bring it over some more. Go like this. There we go. Bam. Let's look and see what happened. James Dugan. Reason, attorney Steve Greenberg, 53rd West Jackson Boulevard, Suite 1260, Chicago, Illinois, 60604. Dear sir, I am the defendant in the case of People versus Drew Peterson, 09 CF 1048, which was recently tried in the Circuit Court of Will County, Illinois. In that case, I was represented by a team of attorneys, one of which was attorney Steve Greenberg. While I am very satisfied with the legal representation provided me, by all my other attorneys, as the trial progressed, it became clear to me that Mr. Greenberg was unprepared for his cross-examinations, that he was not paying attention to the proceedings, and that he was more concerned with being on television and in the newspapers during the trial than he was in doing his part in my defense. His ineffective assistance will be addressed in my post-trial motions and my appeal. But for now, there are some matters that I feel I am compelled to bring to your attention. First, near the end of my trial, it was decided to call Mr. Harry Smith as a witness for the defense. Based on previous testimony Mr. Smith had given, Mr. Greenberg fully agreed, with the support and supported this decision. And in fact, was in favor of it. He sat right next to me during the trial. That is when he was not in the press room, which is where he often was, even when there were witnesses on the stand. Wow. And he told me that he thought it was a good move to call Harry Smith to attempt to impeach the hearsay statements of my wife, Stacey Peterson. Then, to my shock and surprise, right after Harry Smith's testimony, Mr. Greenberg started falsely saying that he was against calling Mr. Smith. He did this, in my opinion, in an attempt to get even more media attention for himself and embarrass other members of my defense team, in an attempt to gain a higher profile for himself. He did this even though it was clearly adverse to my defense and my best interest, and even though it was false. Secondly, it is bizarre that Mr. Greenberg would say that it was wrong to call Mr. Smith to testify, since it was Mr. Greenberg's negligence that made calling Mr. Smith necessary. Mr. Greenberg was assigned Mr. Scott Rossetto as a witness. Mr. Rossetto was barred from testifying at the instance of my lead attorney, who overruled Mr. Greenberg, who wanted to let Mr. Rossetto testify so he could cross-examine him and thereby get more attention for himself. However, because of his disappointment at not being able to cross-examine Mr. Rossetto, Mr. Greenberg neglected to introduce the text messages in between Mr. Rossetto and my wife, Stacey Peterson, which proved that they were having an affair. Oh no. The authenticity of these emails had been, so Greenberg was having an affair with Stacey Peterson. Man. Had been stipulated to, and they were admissible to impeach Stacey Peterson. However, Mr. Greenberg, whose job it was to deal with these text messages, neglected to offer them into evidence. Because of the negligence, we were left with no other method of impeaching Stacey Peterson other than calling Mr. Smith. Thirdly, I signed a document terminating Steve Greenberg as my attorney on September 11, 2012. Wait, Greenberg, I thought you said you ain't get fired. I thought you said you didn't get fired. Well, here they go again. Thirdly, I signed a document terminating Steve Greenberg as my attorney on September 11, 2012. And this termination was delivered to him along with a letter instructing him that pursuant to Illinois Rule of Professional Responsibility 1.9, that he was to make no public comment about his dismissal or discharge any of my other attorneys who all worked very hard for me and who put my interests first, unlike Mr. Greenberg. It was told to him that to do so would adversely affect my defense and as my former attorney, actually current attorney, as he has not yet withdrawn. It is my best interest that must come first, and before his need to get his face on television and his name in the paper. Of course, after receiving his dismissal and this letter, it took Mr. Greenberg less than a few minutes to give an interview to the Chicago Tribune and to appear on WGN and other television stations and do exactly what he was told not to do. And in doing so, harm my defense and those of my attorneys who, unlike Mr. Greenberg, put my interests first. In these interviews, he spoke of defense matters and team strategy in direct violation of Illinois Rule of Professional Conduct 1.8b, as well as Rule of Professional Conduct 1.9. Finally, I have been shown a picture of Mr. Greenberg at a public appearance on September 19, 2012, smiling and shaking hands with Will County State's Attorney James Glasgow. This public appearance with the state's attorney who personally prosecuted my case, by Mr. Greenberg, while he still has an appearance on file in my case, is clearly against my best interest and can only project to the public that Mr. Greenberg is in favor of my conviction and approving of everything the state's attorney has done to convict me. How can Mr. Greenberg call himself a criminal defense attorney and act like this? I hope that you will conduct an investigation into these matters. Drew W. Peterson. I want to stop somewhere. Hold on. Oh, God. Sorry about that, y'all. I want to stop somewhere. Oh, stuffy, this killing me. I want to stop one place, and the place I want to stop is right here. Hold on, where my wipes? Hold on, excuse me, y'all. I gotta wash my hands. I can't do this. Wee, no spreading germs. No spreading germs. Sorry about that, y'all, but I had to, all that snot and stuff, I had to wash my hands. But I want to stop at a place. He said, finally, I have been shown a picture of Mr. Greenberg at a public appearance on September 19, 2012, smiling and shaking hands with Will County State's Attorney James Glasgow. This public appearance with the state's attorney who personally prosecuted my case by Mr. Greenberg while he still has an appearance on file in my case is clearly against my best interest and can only project to the public that Mr. Greenberg is in favor of my conviction and approving of everything the state's attorney has done to convict me. I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm gonna show y'all this, and I'm gonna take y'all back because I told y'all in this case you're gonna have to go backwards before you can go forward, right? Told you that, right? So that's Greenberg, right? That's Greenberg. You see it. They call him Steve Ineffective Assistance Greenberg. Did the same thing in Drew Peterson case. Right after Peterson tried to fire him, Greenberg went and met and meet with the prosecutor to congratulate him on convicting Peterson, had his photo taken with him to taunt Peterson's and as a foul threat. So let's go here. I said it last night. I don't think nobody heard me. So I'll say it again. In order for Greenberg to go back and forth the way he did with Avenatti, there had to be some source, some sense of friendship there. Because if I got somebody like Daryl Johnson, right? And I see a picture with him with Avenatti, I'm not going to get upset and throw a jab and say, he'll be back over here with us. No, I don't want you back over here. Stay your assets over there. It kind of reminds you of YouTube and the mod situation. You can't mod for me and mod for my enemy. I'd rather you stay over there and you make everything great. It was good while you was here. You know what I mean? So the same thing that's happening on YouTube is really happening in the courtroom. Now you see why people saying that Greenberg potentially have that potential to go prosecute Rob now. Watch this. Let's go back to the status conference. Let's go back to the status conference. In that status conference, Greenberg opened and said, Steve Greenberg here on behalf of Rkelly or Robert Spencer Kelly. That was his opening. I told y'all yesterday, there are 3 parts to worry about. The opening, the middle, closing. So the opening was he hit himself. I'm Greenberg, I'm here. But then when he said Robert's name, his tone changed. I guess people weren't listening for that. And for everybody that say Robert sounded good on that status conference, you crazy. He sounds scared, he sounds wary, and he sounds like he's ready to give up. But I'm sorry, a lot of y'all don't know Robert. Y'all know Rkelly. The beginning was Greenberg kicking in the door, I'm here. The middle, when he said, one of the lawyers is mentally incompetent. Wait. One of the lawyers is mentally incompetent when you get fired. But when you were there, you ain't put that on paper or on record the whole time that you was there. Which lead me to believe that you were milking the golden goose. And I have no other choice but to go back to Avenatti when it said, it's so easy to set up the golden goose. And I take this part personally because I find myself in this situation. You take people at face value, you trust them, they get close enough, they think you're stupid, you give them narratives, or you don't give them narratives. They stab you in the back, try to use everything against you, try to hurt you, try to get you moved out of the way so they can be the first ones in line. Get it. Same thing with Robert. Greenberg comes in, try to do a lot of backdoor collusion deals. Allegedly. That's what The word is on the street. Allegedly. So until it manifests, just keep it in the back of your head. Allegedly. So the middle was setting the stage. Just so Judge Donnelly can say, no, you can't get rid of him. He said that somebody's incompetent. So you got to stay. Because I don't want it to be a mistrial. I see that angle. That's why when she asked Robert, Robert ain't stutter. He ain't say, he didn't sound confident. The only thing he sound confident in is when she said, Mr. Kelly, do you wish to terminate? He said, yes, I do. Very confident. Yes, I do. Then the ending. The ending that everybody didn't pay attention to. I said it last night. Folks still overlooked it. When he said to the prosecution, it's been a pleasure working with you. So you ain't had nothing to say for the man that was paying you and you got your Maserati and all that from, right? You ain't had nothing to say for the man that's sitting right across from your office and you barely went to go see him, but you made every excuse not to. You ain't had nothing to say to the man that when you supposed to have been worrying about his case, you was commenting on a Derek Chauvin case on Court TV. Which make me wonder, because you didn't say nothing about the man that brought your name back into fold. But you got on Twitter and you start making comments. I wish I could tell everything I know. Because situation like this, it'd be a lot of holes, and then people would take it and run and say this and say that. No, I wish everybody can know what's really going on. So no, ain't no blogger get Greenberg fired. So when you hear that, dismiss it. That's a lie. But y'all really want to know what got Greenberg fired? Y'all really want to know what got Greenberg fired? And I'm going to say this. I was in a heavy argument with Larry at this point, right? And by no means was I going to tell Larry he was right about that part. I wasn't going to do it. I don't care what nobody said. I wasn't going to do it. Because when I'm in war, that's what it is. It's war. And Larry was making fun of the case. I ain't like it. I ain't think it was funny. So Larry made a valid point, but you know me, I wasn't going to give him no brownie points and tell him he made a valid point. Why should I? I'm putting all these together for a reason. This is the letter. This is the letter that Drew Peterson wrote. He said, dear somebody. Can't read it. He said, I have more to say than what I've written in my plea-related statement. but I don't know where to begin, nor how much I'm allowed to say in light of the court's admonishments regarding the media. The public forum isn't the ideal venue for most of what I need to say to everyone who has suffered as a result of my crimes. But I think that what I wrote when I pled guilty is important enough to break my silence over. In early November 1985, I wrote a handwritten affidavit statement confessing to the Nasirico crimes. I wrote the statement in order to protect Cruz, Hernandez, and Buckley. In the event of my death, the statement was sealed and the record during the hearing on the 13th of August, 2009. So I can't include a copy. I think I'm allowed to say that at the time I wrote the affidavit / confession in 1985, I speculated that several DuPage County officials lied about and fabricated evidence in order to set up Cruz, Hernandez, and Buckley. I predicted their lies then, and Mr. Burkett is still lying today. My main motivation in pleading guilty was to take responsibility for these crimes, express my remorse, and for the truth to finally emerge. The truth includes the lies, fabrications, and conviction of innocent men. It was my intent to plead guilty from the very beginning of this prosecution. I never entered a plea at an arraignment. So that's what Drew Peterson was saying. So I'm gonna go here. Still like this. One of the real reasons that Rkelly fired attorney Steve ineffective assistant Greenberg is shown in the attached order where Judge Donnelly denies an important motion because Greenberg filed it 3 months too late. Other reasons will follow shortly. Let's read it again. One of the real reasons that Rkelly fired attorney Steve ineffective assistant Greenberg is shown in the attached order where Judge Donnelly denies an important motion because Greenberg filed it 3 months too late. Other reasons will follow shortly. United States of America, let's look at what he filed. United States of America against Robert Rkelly and Donnelly, United States District Judge. On October the 8th, 2020, I granted the government's motion to impel an anonymous and partially sequestered jury. The defendant now moves for reconsideration of that order, ECF number 87, for the reasons discussed below. The defendant's motion for reconsideration of my October the 8th, 2020 order is denied. So, no matter what the idiot's done, Robert still had a shot, from what I'm seeing, to not get a sequestered jury. It would have been a long shot, but at least it would have been a shot. So since the idiots assisted Greenberg in making sure Robert got a sequestered jury. So discussion, they talk about the federal rules and all that, blah, 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 blah. Let's get to the meat and the potatoes of it. Blah, blah. I'm gonna start at 684F3D36. Rather, the standard for granting a motion for reconsideration is strict, and reconsideration will generally be denied unless the moving party can point to controlling decisions or data that the court overlooks. Matters, in other words, that might reasonably be expected to alter the conclusion reached by the court. The defendant's motion for reconsideration does not meet the strict standard. Look at this. As an initial matter, the motion is untimely. The first line. As an initial matter, the motion is untimely, meaning it's late. Local Criminal Rule 49.1D requires a motion for reconsideration to be filed within 14 days of the court's decision on the original motion. I issued the order granting the government's motion for an anonymous and partially sequestered jury on October the 8th, 2020. ECF number 79. The defendant filed his motion for reconsideration more than 3 months later on January the 26th, 2021. This alone is reason for denial. So not only was the idiots helping the government, but he still had a long shot for it not being a sequestered jury. But Greenberg piggybacked and made sure that the sequestered jury was given. So check it. Even if I were to consider the merits of the motion, the defendant has presented no new facts or controlling law that I overlooked in my earlier decision. The defendants have a right to consult with the state's attorney or his staff concerning questions of law relating to criminal and other matters. State's Attorney Burkett and his staff actions were inappropriate. Okay, but that's talking about something else. I done skipped to a whole other part. This was part of that letter. I'm sorry. So, and before we look at this, because this is the last part of the Drew Peterson letter, we seen that Greenberg didn't file the motion on time. Also, I believe Ann Donnelly gave Greenberg and everybody the points to prove that Robert is not an endanger to the community and that he is not a flight risk. Greenberg, leading counsel, have not provided that in 6 motions. But you got the guy from 19 and more. His lawyers provided first go around. And one of the most easiest things he said was, I'm too famous to go anywhere. That guy was provided house arrest at a friend's house. He couldn't go to his house because his wife was pregnant and his kids were there, and he already been charged or been locked up for raping his 2 younger kids. But the thing is, he's home on house arrest. Robert's not. So let's look at the last piece that Drew Peterson put in his last piece that he did. I'm gonna start at the state's attorney is not required to seek the court's permission prior to fulfilling his duties of office. Obviously, the shakedown did not prevent further violations because the defendant, through Mr. Greenberg, reached out to ABC Network News to schedule a television interview and what this court characterized as a blatant attempt to influence prospective jurors. Let's skip to number 8. The people are not seeking any sanctions against Mr. Greenberg or any of the other members of the defense team. However, as we have previously indicated, someone has again furnished the defendant with discovery materials and other contraband. So, as we see, Greenberg was a problem. Greenberg was a problem. So with that being said, let's go here. I know y'all see it. A lot of people been talking about it. Federal judge in Brooklyn sets conflict of interest hearing in Rkelly case. I heard people talking about it today. For the crazy people that say, oh, Rkelly got to keep Greenberg because he was messing with Nicole, that's a lie. That is not the truth. Then I heard somebody else allude that, oh, we know who the real conflict of interest is. This case is so crazy. And Ann Donnelly know that certain people ain't gonna know what the hell she's talking about. She put that up there, it's only the beginning, see you later. I must be telling the truth, y'all. Golly, they coming in after me. Woo. I don't want no parts. It's only the beginning, I'm sorry. I don't want no beef. Second of all, that bozo shit stops. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. So that bozo shit falls mute. Let's go here. The judge did not explain what prompted the hearing, but she had previously ordered Kelly's Chicago-based attorneys to file a letter explaining why they decided to withdraw from Kelly's racketeering case. Now, let me read what was just sent to me before I go any further with that, because I'm going to educate y'all today. Just in from Jason Meisner, a federal judge in New York City has scheduled a hearing for indicted singer Rkelly to decide whether his new attorneys have conflicts that would keep them from representing him at trial. Details to come. And I find it funny they use this photo, which furthermore proves my point. They are trying to link these two together. If you can link them together, it's going to be impossible to separate unless it's people that will also say Robert doesn't know this guy like that. I'm just saying. So more drama could be brewing for Rkelly's legal team as a federal judge in Brooklyn on Friday scheduled a hearing typically meant to determine whether a lawyer has a conflict of interest in the case. Whether a lawyer has a conflict of interest in the case. Avenatti, it might be coming back to haunt you, brother. The conflict of interest. People trying to make it, oh, it's Nicole and Robert. That's a lie. Nicole ain't know Robert until this case started. Like I said to a friend of mine today, how can you say Rkelly guilty and you wasn't there? You don't know. And they just start spewing out stuff, and I start spewing out stuff back. I wasn't there, you wasn't there, so how you know what actually happened? Only thing you know is hearsay and word of mouth. The same thing that's on them indictments. Hearsay, word of mouth. And I know people gonna say, well, Dana, if you can say that for Rkelly, what about Don Russell? Easy. They don't have Rkelly on wiretap. They say they got digital footprints, okay? Digital footprints of him doing what? If it's not breaking a crime, I mean, if it's not breaking the law, it's not a crime. They have Don Russell breaking the law. That's the difference. And I'm going to give you educated talk without educated, big, gigantic words. I'm going to break it down to where a 2-year-old can understand, and so can a college grad. So the conflict of interest, let's see. U.S. District Judge and Donnelly set a so-called, here it is, Curcio. I told y'all, a Curcio hearing. A Curcio. What do Curcio mean? Conflict of interest. Who said it was a conflict of interest? Steve Greenberg said it's impossible to represent him because it's a conflict of interest. In other words, Greenberg was saying, look, he's firing me, so I got to save face and say I quit. But the reason why I quit is because of conflict of interest, which means, Judge, I'm signaling to you that I want to get a trial so we can try to convince Robert to keep us. So I need a Curcio hearing. Now, people out there today talking about there's a conflict of interest. We know who the conflict of interest is. We do. No, the conflict of interest is nothing more but a hood way of saying Curcio hearing. That's why I say, be careful when you listen to these fakes on these pages. Be careful. Do your research for yourself. Be careful. Because people will sit back and say, oh, they'll do things misleading. Like posting things to make it seem like they part of the defense team. And when I'm barely getting out of bed and I'm getting screenshots with this and I'm looking and laughing, and I'm saying, Lord have mercy. When will it end? You got to be careful. Remember when I put out a statement that came from a lawyer? I put out a statement that came from a lawyer. It was like a year and a half ago, when the dollar for the king was in dispute and all that. They got so mad that I put it out. They went back to the lawyer and said, he changed your words, didn't he? And then when that lawyer said, yeah, Dana changed a couple words. It wasn't what I did. It was the deception of it. Because I changed it from third party to first person. Just like when I seen something today from a screenshot that was sent to me, it clearly said, we. Wait a minute, we who? We who? We respectfully submit that Mr. Greenberg was fired by client. What was we? And it was plastered on the page to make the deception look like, oh, I'm bringing you Rkelly content. I'm in talks with these lawyers. I'm telling you what's going on, and this was going on. Bad look. Bad look. Bad look. So I just say, please be careful when you do stuff like that. Even if you're taking a post and reposting it, be careful, because they're talking in first person. And when you repost it, it adds you in first person like you're a part of a situation that nobody even fucks with anybody about. I'm just saying. Trying to give people heads up. Warning come before destruction. I keep saying it. Queen B said, a Curcio hearing is the last chance for a defendant to utilize as a form of protection. Well, Queen B, the Curcio hearing was strucken. I mean, not strucken, but it was initiated by Greenberg, not by Robert. Be careful. Israel said it's true though. His Facebook page posts something every night. Robert don't have Facebook. That's being ran by somebody else. Y'all know who it is. Some people call him Star 67. Be very careful. Be very careful. How can Rob post anything and he's on lockup? Locked up in jail, but he posted on Facebook. Make that make sense. It seems like a son and his mother have had people pit the attorneys against each other so they can control Kells and con him. I love you, Kimberly Nicole. That's what we do over here. We talk about it without even saying it. Some people catch it, some people won't. But Star 67, anything you see Rkelly, Star 67 is behind it. He have all of Rob's passcodes and everything. Willie said in my Sebo voice, Don Ruffles. Pray for that boy, Sebo. He say some of the dumbest, darndest things. My question is, why is AD on Mr. Kelly's case? She deals with severe sex crime cases where the charges stick. Mr. Kelly is innocent till proven guilty. Mr. Kelly is facing all allegations. Queen B, who's AD? Put the first name. Miss Lady T, I just said we don't call names over here, right? And look what you just did. Oh, hold on, and Dana. Okay. My question is, why is AD on Mr. Kelly's case? She deals with severe sex crimes cases where the charges stick. Well, Queen B, you're a very smart woman. You put the toughest judge. Are you cool, Ms. Lady? Ms. Lady T, I'm sorry. You put the toughest judge that deals with that type of case on a person that's being charged with them type of cases. It's a chess match. It's AD. I'm gonna put it like this. It's going to boil down to AD versus Nicole. That's going to be a match for the ages. But the only problem is AD ain't going to be able to say nothing. And the show is going to be on a prosecutor versus Nicole. And the truth going to come out in cross-examination. Everything else is just going to be set in the stage. So you listen to the stage be set, and then the cross-examination is either you going to knock down the stage or you going to just say, forget it, I'm going to fold. I don't have Nicole folding. Plain and simple, she was a prosecutor for this type of cases. What better way or person to have, and what's up, J-Rock? And what better way or person to have on your case than to have a former radio station? I mean, I said real estate, I'm reading it. And to have a former sex crime person on your side. So she know all the ins and outs. And Donnelly doesn't respect Nicole, in my opinion. Why would you say that, Kimberly? Why would you say that? And I'm going to tell you where I beg to differ with that. I think she respects Nicole. I just think that Ann Donnelly was scared where that was about to go to. And if she would have let it go, if she would have let that go on, there would not have been no need for a Curcio hearing. Ann Donnelly trying to play it all by the book while slightly, well, just because she cut her off, that don't mean she don't respect her. I seen judges get cut off. But you don't want to come back at a judge and you still got to come back and matter of fact, you still got to come back and see that judge. No, Nicole is not lead counsel right now. There's no lead counsel at this moment. On paper, Greenberg is lead counsel, but technically there's no lead counsel right now at this moment. So the judge, wait a minute. For third, okay, so wait a minute. Is it this Thursday coming up? The judge did not explain what prompted the hearing, but she had previously ordered Kelly's Chicago-based attorneys to file a letter under seal, explaining why they decided earlier this week to withdraw from Kelly's racketeering case in Brooklyn. Why I keep going over like that? Okay. The case is set to go to trial August the 9th in 2 months. Meanwhile, Kelly confirmed for the judge during a hearing Wednesday that he preferred to move forward with attorneys Thomas Fenella of New York and Nicole Blank Becker of Michigan. Fenella told Donnelly during the hearing that we're prepared to move forward with trial. That's what I'm talking about. Kelly appeared finally on track for the trial later. Kelly appeared finally on track for the trial later this summer when attorney Steve Greenberg and Michael Leonard of Chicago suddenly asked to withdraw from the case earlier this week. Fenella and Becker say the men were actually fired by Kelly. Though the ongoing turmoil threatens Kelly's August trial date, the judge has so far signaled she does not want to reschedule it. Greenberg wrote in a letter to the judge Monday that our reasons for withdrawal are significant and it is impossible in our belief for us to be able to continue to properly represent Mr. Kelly under the current circumstances. Though that letter contained no further detail, Greenberg and Leonard have since pointed to the dispute about trial responsibilities. Greenberg on Friday said, our main goal is always that Kelly have competent counsel and the judge just wants to make sure of that too. Leonard declined comment Friday. Fenella said he didn't know why next week's hearing was called and indicated he would reach out to Becker, who couldn't be reached by the Chicago Sun-Times. Kelly's indictment in Brooklyn alleges he led an enterprise made up of his managers, bodyguards, drivers, and other employees who helped him recruit women and girls for sex. That's the stupidest stuff I ever heard. A separate indictment in Chicago charges R. Kelly with child pornography and obstruction of justice. It alleges he thwarted his 2008 prosecution in Cook County with threats, gifts, and six-figure payoffs. Kelly, 54, has been held in Chicago Downtown Metropolitan Correctional Center since his arrest in July 2019, though authorities have recently said they would be preparing to move him to New York for trial. A prosecutor told the judge this week that paperwork had been filed to move Kelly, but she said Kelly's attorneys would like him to remain in Chicago for as long as possible. Okay. Okay. So there you have it. It's crazy. There you have it. It's very crazy. Y'all see what's going on. It's wild. Like I said, I will never bring you false accusations. I will never bring you lies. I will bring you nothing but the truth. That's where we're going. We stand focused on the case. Nothing else. Anything else is a distraction. But I got to ask y'all a question. And I just want to do a gut check right now. What are y'all actual feelings about this case? What are y'all actual feelings about this case? No statement is a dumb statement. No question is a dumb question. But I want to know, what do y'all actually feel about this case? Queen B said Trump was accused of RICO charges in New York in 2019. Yeah, he was. Dream team moving forward. Also, while these questions are coming in, I'm gonna say if you want to support the channel, you get the Cash App at official DanaJay. Also, don't forget, you can mind you went blank. You also can PayPal me at paypal.me/daintezjackson, DAINTEZ, last name Jackson. Don't forget my Patreon, y'all. Y'all don't want to miss my Patreon. All this paperwork going in there. And when I get off here, it's going in there tonight. Israel said, I believe he can win. Miracles happen. Oh, yeah. I believe he can win, too. He just couldn't do it with Greenberg. Dana, my homegirl doesn't work at the radio station anymore. I have to contact her again and see if she still has connections there. Cool. Let's make it happen, J-Rock. I think whoever they get on the case, they need to do a motion and start knocking these charges off. Okay? I got it, Ann. Okay? I am confident Rkelly will be vindicated. That's what I'm talking about, Miss Shirley. Will he put my Patreon link up there? Yep, he did it. Willie, can you put all of them up there together? Put everything in one little joint so I can post it. Kimberly Nicole, oh, October Girl said, I believe he will win. Hey, October Girl, how you been? Kimberly Nicole said, the case is bullcrap. Well, she said bullshit. Kels may be a womanizer, but he is no gangster, killer, racketeer, nor does he run a criminal enterprise. And Nicole, I love that. I love that. My belief, he would beat the charges the prosecutors got to prove everything, just keep the faith. It's facts. King said, I think Greenberg got paid under the table from somebody, but ain't one of Lise Van Allen friend testifying in the trials? I doubt it. I doubt it. Because Lisa don't deal with half of these people. And that came from her mouth. Willie Jones, that part. Dana, did you know that racketeering cases allows for the prosecution to collect treble damages? Triple the amount of actual compensatory charges? Yes, I did. Miss Lady said, King Hay, have you heard from Doug lately, Dana? If not, I believe it's time. We need the GOAT to take the case over. Christari, I plead the fifth. Hit my line, we'll talk. I plead the fifth while I'm online, though. But to answer your question, nah, I haven't talked to Doug. Not, I haven't talked to Doug. Nope, not at all. Do not say online about that. I told him I ain't talked to him. That's what I said. I ain't talked to him. I plead the fifth. I don't even want to talk about Doug. Other than I believe, just like Christari believe and other people believe, that Doug need to be lead counsel. I believe Doug need to be lead counsel. If not lead counsel, Doug need to be assistant co-lead counsel. Mr. Kelly's enterprise is being treated like the mafia. Let me ask you this, Queen B. Who was the enterprise? Because you just can't say bodyguards and stuff like that. That's broad. If that's the case, let's go here. If that's the case, Angelo and Tim, they got an enterprise going on. I mean, didn't Angelo let his daughter go with people that he don't know? Wasn't Angelo seeking compensation? Wasn't Tim seeking compensation? Because his daughter was old enough to go without talking to him? Come on, man, make that make sense. Make it make sense. If Robert got an enterprise, Angelo and Tim got an enterprise. Because they both were seeking compensation. And can I know what you're going to say? Well, Angelo and Tim can't be an enterprise by themselves. Well, shit, all these accusers were part of the enterprise of Angelo and Tim Savage. Why? Because they all were seeking compensation. Let's go there. RSK Enterprise was not from Robert. Let's make that make sense. RSK Enterprise to me was a music enterprise wrongly accused of RICO activity. RSK Enterprises, I'm gonna be honest with you. Robert Sylvester Kelly, AKA Rkelly, was never an enterprise. And they were never supposed to be brought on RICO activity. But RSK Enterprise supposed to be brought on RICO activity. RSK Enterprise is Don Star 67 and his crew. They the ones blowing up cars. They the ones that's trying to do robberies. They the ones that's calling in gun threats. They the ones that's trying to intimidate victims or accusers. So why would you put Robert with RSK Enterprise? Why? Because the leader of and the organizer of RSK Enterprise said, "Oh, Robert's my brother." Feel me? And see the way I dressed that up? See the way I dressed that up? Just because RSK Enterprise is there, don't mean RSK Enterprise is Robert Kelly. And some people be like, oh, he knew. Now how? How? When the leader of RSK Enterprise mother said Robert is not going to be happy with what you've done because he don't even know. Trust me. Trust me. Now you get it. Just because I'm gonna go here. My last name is Jackson, right? Let's just say my first name was Mike, and I went around raping everybody. I'm just giving you a point. And I went around raping everybody in California. And I stayed 2 blocks from the real Michael Jackson. Do you go lock up the singer Michael Jackson, or do you come lock up the rapist Michael Jackson? But because I say the singer Michael Jackson is my brother, and I've been knowing him for 30 years, when you go to depose that, and you find out Michael Jackson is 65 and I'm 40, how in the hell you known this man for 30-something years? Impossible. Just like with Star 67. How you know Robin for 30-something years and you were 14 and he was 25? A 25-year-old ain't hanging out with no 15, 14. King said, if Michael Jackson and Prince was alive, I feel like they would have been supportive of Kells on the low. It wouldn't have been on no low for Prince or for Michael. Y'all see what happened? And when Michael brought out that song, they don't really care about us. Pay attention to them songs. He was telling everybody about the music industry and about the people then, and about the White House, and about everybody included. Nobody wanted to listen. Nobody wanted to listen. So look, I'm only here to drop nuggets, drop bombs, just for you to go research. And when we come back together, you can come back and throw some more bombs, and then we can throw bombs and we can blow Baghdad up all the time. I love every last one of y'all. You don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to be great. Be someone important, be yourself. Like I say, Kwame Brown have mama's cooking. I respect that, brother, because he's doing something that's unconventional. He's speaking out against the pirates. I have Grandpa season. And with Grandpa season, you don't have no good food unless the seasoning right. So y'all go ahead, y'all have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. God is good all the time. And if anything else happens, I'm gonna jump back on here and give you the truth. I saw Senator Sain's video earlier in the beginning of his show, Umar Johnson dropping bombs on Michael Jackson and Prince. I gotta go watch that. Also, little grown boy, you better leave my Senator Sain alone. Leave my bro alone. Y'all leave him alone. Y'all leave Senator alone. Now, I told him earlier, better leave Senator alone. Leave him alone. He doing his commentary, he ain't bothering nobody. Leave him alone. Now, y'all don't want nobody bothering y'all stable. I don't want nobody bothering my stable. Leave him alone. So, y'all have a good weekend, man. Everybody, have a good weekend. Whether you over here, whether you part of the enterprise, whether you wherever you at, whether you owe COVID, don't matter. Everybody have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. I'm about to go watch this Hawks game, and we gonna get it in. Dream Team, love y'all through and through. Y'all know I pump Dream Team, but we got work to do. Y'all be blessed. DanaJay out. One.
What you gonna do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. beg you. Make love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spend you. That ass, girl, gotta make it last. Spread our soul, and I'ma beat it up.